विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ति प्रचोदयात्। ॐ गणानाथाय 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 विद्महे वक्रतुण्डाय धीमहि तन्नो दन्ति प्रचोदयात्।
Alrighty, well that was sudden. That was sudden that it just cut off like that. All right, y'all. So I've got a very, very important discussion to talk to you guys about. And I'm just going to tell you, I'm only going to be here because my time is limited. But what I want to talk about today is controlling men. Okay? Now, there's some women that love controlling men. I don't understand why somebody would want someone that is insecure, someone that is out of control himself, and someone that really doesn't understand how a healthy man operates. A controlling man has no place in my life. He will always be abjured every time. Usually the ones that are controlling, they don't have nothing to offer. Men that are controlling have nothing to offer to you. They are so insecure that they're chasing you around. They're monitoring everything that you do. They can't even experience life. And this is the type of toxic masculinity that is not welcome in my life. This is the kind of toxic masculinity that came out of religion. And what this has done is it has created a cancer that grows inside of their gut. Okay? I had never seen anything like it. It's ridiculous. I have about 10 boyfriends online who have a fake, made up fantasy relationship with me. And they hate me so much that they have tried to control my perception of self, which will never happen. They have tried to control other people's perception of me, which will never happen. They have tried to control my money, which will never, never, never happen. And they're wrapped up in a delusion. And if you notice, they don't want to control every woman. It's only certain women that they want to control. This is not a healthy man with a healthy mind. In fact, he's cursed. He's cursed to consistently defile himself, defile the woman, because he is being controlled by another male. And most of these men have nothing but jealousy and envy and strife for these men. Hold on, I'm talking. Hold on. A controlling man is a curse in your life. And he can't give you love ever. He'll never be able to give you love. And these type of controlling men are the ones that usually end up all alone, because there's no woman, including myself, that is ever going to put up with that crap. Can you imagine dealing with a man that has very, very, very low self-esteem, with a combined very low opinion of the woman? You're going to end up with disaster in your life. And if I even get one hint, because boy, they've been trying. In fact, there's a very disgusting video that was put up by a troll where he told everybody that I was some kind of child sex trafficker. It's so disgusting, the lengths that they will go through to try to control your money. It's absolutely ridiculous. Pooh Bear, I've never allowed anybody to control me. That's why I'm speaking out about it. But these men have been in a delusion thinking that that is what they have been doing. And you will never, and I actually respectfully told these men that I'm not interested. I believe that controlling men are rapists. When they talk about rape, rape is never about love or attraction. Rape is about control. So these men have a history of raping and defiling the woman. And they've been taught to do this through some kind of, I don't know what it is. I don't know where they got this from. But my theory is this. I believe that the reason why these men are so controlling is because, number one, they have no control over themselves. And number two, they have given up on life. I'm single. I don't have any man controlling me. There's no man in my life that controls anything in my life. And you know what's so pathetic about these men is that even when you tell them I am not with you, they are still trying to claim you. And there's literally nothing that will ever be there between me and a controlling man. ever. Now, am I a controlling woman? I guess you could say that I'm a little controlling because, see, men, they're so out of control. A lot of them are so out of control that they'll go and they will do dangerous and destructive things just in spite of you, even though they know that it's not good for you. They know that it's not good for your family. They know that it's not good for the children. Yeah, I agree that they are narcissistic, but this goes beyond narcissism. It goes beyond narcissism. This is something that is way past narcissists. Okay. And I'm going to tell you that it is a curse. These men are blind. They will never experience any happiness with a woman carrying on the way that they do because everybody, if a man wants control over you, you can bet your bottom dollar that there is someone controlling them. If a man says that to you, he is very demonic and he is not fit to be around a woman. And you know what? I hope that you put some kind of hex on him. I hope you put some kind of hex on him. I just realized that my problems that I've been having on YouTube has nothing to do with women at all. It has everything to do with men. And it has everything to do with their need to control another human being. Okay. So this, in my opinion, is another form of slavery. And you know what? There will be a day of reckoning for these men because they will do as much harm to you as possible. They will even try to harm your children just so that they can control you. And the women that deal with them, they're being forced into the situation. And this is happening right up underneath our noses. And until they bust us up, beat us up, rape us, the government does nothing about it. The police does nothing about it when these people have absolutely no self-control, no honor, and no dignity. I don't want a man behaving that way around me, period. I don't even want him to talk about me. What you talking about me for? Me and you have no connection with each other. In fact, we're incompatible. And you know what's so crazy about it? The more and more you resist, the more and more they want. So even when you reject them, even though there's a huge percentage of women that are willing to be controlled by them, they're still not happy because just like a rapist, they want you to be squiggling and squirming. And I'm going to tell y'all something. We have to have protection against men like this because they'll screw up your life, or at least they'll try. But see, I'm a very good practitioner, so they haven't been able to do that to me. They've only been able to talk crazy, fantasize, and get angry and say abusive comments. Please believe that no sound woman of any sound mind, body, or spirit is going to put up with that crap. And if you're not satisfied with the women that are willing to put up with that crap, too bad. Now, what they do, a man that has good sense, a man that has respect for himself, because I'm going to tell you something, a controlling man is usually going to be very disrespectful. He's usually going to be the type of man that, you know, has a negative opinion of women, period. He's usually going to be the type of man that is going to be confused. Men that are in control of themselves and men that are going somewhere in life, they don't have to do that. Now, let me explain to you what happens to men like that. And Spirit really wants me to give a warning to these men. Let me explain to you what's going to happen to you. You're going to end up with cancer. You're going to end up getting shot up, beat up, because the spirits is on y'all's butts. Okay? First of all, I believe that men like this, on the surface, they like women, but deep down they don't really like women because they're so concerned about a woman controlling them. But what woman has tried to control them? It's never been the other way around. Not actually. I think the only thing that a woman wants to make sure is that you have a good income and that you don't bring diseases home to her. But their minds are so diseased. It is. They're trapped in a hell. They literally have the perception that just because they have a man part, that they are supposed to be controlling you. This is a mistake. And if you don't open up your third eye very soon, you're going to die alone because the rest of the world, they live it. See, I realized that there was a lot of sick men in this world when literally men that I have never met, and even men that I have met, when I realized that they were controlling in that way, I was completely turned off. I literally throw up around controlling men because they have such a negative energy around them. It's insecurity. This is why these men cannot manifest anything. And when they see a woman doing it, it makes them feel insecure. Now, divine services is going to continue to stand. It's never going to go away. And there's nothing that you can do that will ever destroy my career or my reputation. Okay? And I don't need an attorney. I don't need a judge to tell you that. Okay? Because I don't earn my money from a man. I earn my money from me. Okay? And I'm going to start being careful about taking male clients because they seem to always be late on their payment. And the reason why they're late on their payments all the time, not because they don't have it, but because they want to control your money. So I'm going to be very careful about taking payment arrangements from men ever again. If you want some spiritual work done through me, you're going to have to pay for all of it up front. Okay? So let's ask spirits, what messages do they have for controlling men? And I'm going to let you know that this is the reason why the hospitals are filled up. This is the reason why their minds is destroyed. Oh, we got some change coming up. We got the Tower. We got the Tower. We got the Page of Cups. We got the Knight of Swords. And we got the Ace of Wands in the reverse position. We also have the Emperor. Very interesting. So the Emperor represents a controlling man. That's what that represents. Somebody that is controlling. Okay, let's see what the next card is. The Hermit. You're going to be alone. And if that's what you choose, whose problem is it but your own? No woman is going to put up with that crap. None whatsoever. Especially not me. I'm not like other women. Okay? If you don't change, You guys are going to have problems with your health, in particular your stomach. So for some reason, controlling men have more of a propensity towards getting stomach cancer. You know why? Because your solar plexus is connected to your pancreas and your bowels. So you're going to develop sicknesses inside of yourself. First of all, you're going to be alone. That's the first thing spirits want you to know. If you don't stop mentally and verbally abusing women, you're going to end up, first of all, men that have control issues, they don't have a lot of virility, do they? They don't. They can barely even keep it up. And the reason why is because you are allowing a bigger system to control you. And this is a system, this is an entity that came to this earth to screw up your life. And until you realize that, you're going to continue to have death and destruction in your life. You're going to continue to have that. You won't be able to sleep at night. And the only way you're going to get better is if you say to yourself, self, I have no right to control anybody. I can barely even control myself. And see, this is part of the reason why society dogs out the black man, because the black man is the last man standing. Okay? The black man is the last man standing when it comes to this, because they want to oppress all women. All women. They want to oppress us. Other men that have let go of that delusion, because that's all it is a delusion. They're doing good in life. But a man that continues to do that, you will end up alone. And you will end up with some kind of stomach cancer. The 9 of Cups comes up in the reverse position. And I can sense that a lot of y'all have sicknesses and mental illnesses. You need to get a curse removal. If you are so far gone to where you feel the need to control a woman online that you have never met, come on, that ought to tell you that something's wrong with you. And as soon as you realize that and you reevaluate your position and your place in a woman's life, you're going to do better. Until then, you're going to continue to have loneliness and bustless nights. Nobody's going to want you. No woman is going to want you, and you can't force nobody, because women are carrying guns, mace. They carrying all kinds of electrical devices to stun you with, stun guns. They're actually hurting themselves. And a man can be trying to control you even when there's no need to control you. I've actually dealt with a man that verbally and physically abused me for 2 years because he had it inside of his little head, his little tiny head, that I was cheating. I never once cheated on him. Never once. But in his mind, I was always cheating. And it was usually a lot of the women in his family that would fill his head up. So we got some toxic feminine, divine feminines. I wouldn't call you divine. Let's just call you toxic feminine. Okay? So a lot of you ladies are in a relationship with a man that beats you. And the reason why he beats you is because while he was out shooting pool with his buddies that are single or that are, married to somebody that cheats on them all the time, they're telling him that you're cheating. Or he's with another woman and that woman is telling him, don't worry about her. She's cheating on you anyway. So they'll go ahead and finish the sexual act with that woman, but then they'll come home and they'll beat you up. How dare you cheat on me? But it's not a reality. So you men are going to have to get control over your mind. Otherwise, ain't no woman going to ever want you. And I can promise you that, oh, plenty of men want me, honey. And about 90% of them are the wrong type, because you're not my type. A controlling man will never be my type, because I know instinctively that he's going to bring poverty, sickness, death, and destruction to my life. And I will continue to banish these types of men. So we're going to also do another ritual on the new moon. We're going to do another group ritual for you guys to banish these men. They have to go. These are not the type of men that you want. I'm saying this to all women, young and old. Please stop falling for that crap. And see, you know what they did? They did a lot of programming of women with that 50 Shades of Grey crap. And I don't want nothing to do with it. It's exciting at first. Oh, he's going to discipline me. Well, first of all, I'm not a child. I'm a grown woman. So I don't need to be disciplined from a man. Trust and believe, my father disciplined me enough and taught me enough discipline to where I don't do drugs, I don't hook around, and I don't mess around. So a lot of you women are going to have to stand your ground. No woman should put up with that. No woman. Half of them can't even go to work. Half of them are so messed up in their head that they can't even earn money for their family. But yet they think that they're going to come online and control people, or even control people in their own life. And an abusive man, I've seen them at work, and it's so funny because it doesn't work on me. It really doesn't. They try to control your perception of yourself. I had a man last night that tried to tell me that I looked like I was 500 pounds. Well, we all know that that's not the truth. Y'all just saw me on camera earlier today. So you can't allow these men to control your mind. You understand me? They'll try to control your perception of self. Ain't gonna happen. And then really they'll try to control other people's perception. But see, we are witches over here. We control everybody's perception of us. Nobody controls how other people see me except for me. You see what I'm saying? Oh, it's disgusting, Capricorn lady. Let me give you a wrench. Whoever else wants a wrench, if you want the responsibility, I can give it to you. Okay? I don't care what you got in your bank account, and I don't care what you have in your pants. I will never be controlled by any man, ever. So that's how we're going to start this new year off. Because this is the new year. I don't know what they were tripping off of, Capricorn lady. I don't understand what the problem was. And they don't want to let go. These types of controlling men, they don't want to let go of you. And you're going to have to let go. Because a woman that is not interested, she's just not interested. And she doesn't care about your ridiculous body shaming, age shaming, looks shaming. No one cares about that. There's a lot of women, boy, you just tell them, oh, you're this and that. And then they just break down. I remember when I was younger. That happening to me. And I was in such a weak and vulnerable position. Now, I done got old now. I'm 41. I ain't old, but I done got older. Right, but why do they think they're able to do that? I think it's because they have women around them that pretend that their self-esteem is low, or either they have women around them with actual low self-esteem. I don't validate myself with no man, not any man ever. And see, you got these women that are affected by this toxic masculinity, and they'll go out and kill other women. I looked up some comments that I hadn't looked up. I think this comment was from like 6 months ago on my other channel. And this person basically said, if you meet up with this person, you're going to end up in the hospital with a feeding tube and blah, blah, blah. It's ridiculous. And these type of women, you should never trust them. Don't ever trust a woman that advocates for another woman to be controlled by a man. Because it's not actual love. That will never be love, sis.
I can't get up. Can't get up.
Well, Pooh Bear, that's the whole point. I'm not 500 pounds, but thank you. But this person tried to convince me of that. Because they think that when they say something, that means that your whole world comes down. And see, this is what is creating the body image issues for so many women. I believe that a lot of men, and it starts with your fathers, I believe that they are the ones that have a hand in creating a lot of the eating disorders that a lot of women have. Because either a woman is going to eat herself to death, or either she is going to starve herself to death. And they don't want you to have any kind of balance, because they don't have balance. Mm-hmm. Well, as a woman, the only man that would be able to validate me, and it's not about validation, but no low self-esteem, unhealthy man that's unhealthy in his mind, which is going to eventually manifest in his body, is going to ever have any control over me. And they don't understand that. So if I were to show them my bank account, or if I were to show them how much money I've earned this year, they would be suicidal. They would literally be suicidal. So this is not the type of man that you want, especially if it's a womanizer. Because a womanizer is always searching for something. He's restless. He's bipolar. He's schizophrenic. He's afraid of how he looks. I don't even want a man that's going to respond to me roasting him. I don't want a man that's going to all of a sudden call me just because I roasted him. I don't want that. Why don't they understand that? The reason why is because they have not been taught to be a man. They are living and walking in a curse 24/7. You're welcome, Diajane. You're welcome. And it's definitely going to be something that I am going to cover a lot. A lot. We're going to be speaking on this subject a lot. In fact, and I'm going to tell y'all something. Cut the cord to these men. Because all they're doing is feeding off of you. They call it narcissistic supply, is what they call it. But it's something that's so much deeper and so much more sinister than that. Because they'll take your entire life from you. To the point where your whole life will go by while you sitting there waiting on this person that literally came into your life just to control you. So when a man says, I don't want any other man near you, and it's like, but you're not near me. So what does that mean? What is this? And then they'll say, oh, well, you're not going to have a stable relationship. A stable relationship with a man that's not there? A stable relationship with a man that actually does not exist? And they have came online, these very same men, and because they can't control any woman, if you can control a woman with that type of behavior, she is not a woman. She does not know who she is. She has no idea what her power is. And that has nothing to do with me because, see, men are very visual creatures. So what they'll do is they'll look at me and they'll go, oh, I can control her. See, this is why I attract a lot of controlling men. I automatically attract controlling men. And these men was like, oh, you are not going to reject me. I'm not going to be ignored, John, is what they told me. Oh, not only are you going to be ignored, but you're going to be dealt with. You're going to be dealt with. Why would they think that a 30-something-year-old woman can be conditioned, though? I've already been in and out of an abusive relationship, so I've already rejected that by a man that I had 2 children with. I reject any man that is behaving that way because this man is bad news. He's bad juju. He's walking in a curse. He has no idea who he is. What he needs to do is he needs to spend some time alone. But see, it's very difficult because there's always going to be a woman that is going to lay down and take it. And I'm not the type of person that's going to lay down and take it. I've never been that type of person. So you've gotten the wrong person is what you've done. Okay? First of all, what Spirit is telling me about these type of men is that they are very, very, very unhappy. This is why they're miserable. This is why they sit there with a stank look on their face, whining and crying about what a woman did to him or what society did to him. No, you have all of the answers. Now that you know that no quality woman is going to stick by you, now that you know that, what are you going to do? Are you going to continue to walk in a curse, in a delusion, or are you going to get it together? Because life is short. Life can be very, very short. Empress B says, I briefly dated a narcissist and cut it off when I recognized something was off. When he recognized I was done with him, he tried to fake a disease for sympathy. Girl, my spirit said, run. I don't blame you. Narcissistic people are very, very quick to fake a disease. They'll lie to you and say, oh, I'm sick. And if they really are sick, it's because of their own doing, because they have allowed something to sit inside of their body and squat, and they have adapted themselves to that stupid religion that has done nothing but, even at the end of the end of the Bible is death and destruction. What do you think that was? You thought that was death and destruction to the whole world? No, it was death and destruction to your body. Your body is the world. You see these cards that I threw out? Your body is the world. You can't control the whole world with that mess. It's you. You are the one that determines what happens. So for example, you know, they'll tell women, they'll say, oh, if you don't contend with what we say, then you're going to have nothing but death and destruction in your life. But there have been a lot of women that have lost their lives to these types of men. They've lost their lives either through death and sickness. Right. Well, I don't fall for any of that crap. I'm not interested. I want a man that has a healthy mind, body, and spirit and heart. I don't want no man that's running around here abusing women. And if there are women out there that are willing to accept that, then I feel bad for those women. I hope that those women come out of that mind control. I hope those women think enough of themselves and enough of you to say, hey, I may love you, but I'm not going to be in a relationship with you like this. And once he's shown you who he is, it's very, very unlikely that he's able to change. It's very, very, very unlikely that he's able to change. Okay? Because they have been programmed this way. And look, there's no amount of witchcraft that is going to change that. You can try to change it with witchcraft, but I doubt it very seriously, because you have to be able to change yourself. And once you have ruined your relationship with a woman, she's not going to come back to you. She's not going to ever come back to you. So I'm going to put that on my list, y'all. I got my list right here. And we're going to put on here. And y'all make sure, and I'm going to be going over this list with you ladies, because, you know, a lot of women love being abused. There's a lot of women that love that abuse. And it's because of whatever reason. we're going to put on this list. He will not be controlling at all. Okay? And he will have security. Now, guys, I am doing that new moon ritual on the 5th of May. Okay? You can go to the website and you can sign up for it anytime. Make sure that you guys give me plenty of time, because let me tell you something. These men, all of the controlling men, see, I don't do witchcraft to control a man. They think the reason why we doing witchcraft is to control them. No, that has nothing to do with controlling you. Why do they think that everything that a woman does has to be tied to them? I have no idea. But you guys can sign up for this group ritual that I will be doing. It is the 16 candle new love, new moon reading. I strongly suggest you do that before you end up in a situation that you don't like, because they looking for you in your 20s. But when you somebody like me that's an empress, they don't care how old you are. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. It has been a long time coming, because so many people have wasted their time and their energy. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm sharing screen, just heads up so you guys can look at the screen. There has been a lot of women that have wasted their time and energy on these types of controlling men. And there is nothing that you can do to save them. The only thing that you can do is have a very, very strict conversation with them. Let them know what they're doing. This is actually going to be on May the 5th, you guys, okay? So you guys can sign up for this ritual. Whether or not you sign up for it or not, the ritual is going to be done. And what you can do is you can email me, but you can also specify the mate that you want. But this is probably only going to give you about 250 characters. So if you guys need to write me, if you guys have a lot of things, a lot on your do's and don't list, make sure that you give me enough time to write out your petition. So you guys can participate in this ritual now. You don't have to wait until it gets close, because if you guys wait too long, then it could possibly take me, it'll make things harder for me. So, the cutoff is going to definitely be probably May the 2nd is the cutoff that I'm going to allow this ritual to be available, because I've got to write down all of your do's and don'ts and your wants and your dislikes. Okay. You just got to cut these type of men out of your life. And let me tell you something. It's affecting all men of all ages. Hold on a second. It is affecting all men of all ages. So you have to be careful. And you have to be careful when you see that type of energy manifesting within your sons. Do not allow it, because this is bringing death and sickness and destruction to your children. Somebody that's that messed up in the head, their solar plexus is off balance. Definitely their sacral chakra is going to be off balance to the point where they can't even get it up. They can't get it up. And if they get it up, it ain't going to stay up. And they'll try to say that there's something wrong with you, but I'm sorry, hon, that's you. It'll affect their heart chakra, which is why statistically more men die of heart attacks than women. But see, they give you all of the backwards statistics. And I have felt their magic. I felt the things that they've done. And they literally have nothing but a curse on them. That's all that it is. And these men will never experience true happiness or true love. Now, they've been trying to keep me from putting up all of my true love readings, which is why they went on the attack yesterday. When I put up those new true love readings, for some reason, I don't know where these people come from. They've been all over my channel like roaches. Every time they see me talking about anything new, because they don't want to be left behind, but it was meant for you to be left behind. And there's nothing you can do about it except for learn the lesson and move on with your lives. Well, if somebody refuses to heal, though, if they refuse to make themselves better, you're always taking a risk to work on these types of men. And the reason why these types of men get the most attention from women is because they demand it. And there's a lot of women in their 20s, 30s, and their teens, they real confused. And I can promise you that I done been there, done that, baby. I done been there, done that with a controlling, abusive man. Please believe it only gets worse. And he will kill you. He will try to murder you. So you got a group of women who are actually protecting these types of men. And that's what's so sad about it, is when you see a woman protecting a man like that, it'll never happen over here. Because you know what those women are doing? Those women are not only doing you a disservice, but they're doing a disservice to the women around you. Because they are not telling you what you need to hear, which is the truth. Okay? Now, I am offering individual counseling and spiritual work to these types of men. You're going to have to get yourself better, because the only thing that it's going to result in is something really, really bad happening to you. We good over here. I don't have blood pressure problems. I don't have heart palpitation problems. I have already went through that and overcame it. Okay? And we've got a lot of the women that come to me, they always come to me and they always say that a man raped them, or either their stepfather raped them and their mother allowed it. Well, that's because that's the type of man that your mother allowed in her life. This man that I was dealing with not too long ago, this man actually thought, and I think they're delusional, this man actually thought that he would be able to come online and say inappropriate things about my child and that he was going to get back up in here. And that's why I told him, I said, you just going to be confused for the rest of your life. Now, maybe he's not an actual pedophile, but I saw in the cards that he was. So he's not welcome over here. Okay. But he actually had the audacity to go over to his channel and say, I can go over there and be with her right now. How delusional these men are. Very, very delusional. Okay. So I would never, and I have never, I left their father because he was controlling like that. Because I didn't want my daughters or my son to witness somebody like that with a sick mind. And they didn't, not until they got older, and they found out very quickly what type of men and what type of man they fathers can be. Yeah, there's a lot of women, I've ran into them. They'll go, oh, you wanted it. You volunteered for that. You wanted it. What? Those women are probably in an abusive relationship themselves. And they ain't never got out of it, and they ain't never thought much of themselves to get out of that situation. Okay? So you just got to have self-esteem, ladies. Even a man that's with an abusive woman. You got to think enough of yourself to get out of that situation and walk away. And the reason why it's happening is because of spiritual reasons. I kept trying to figure out, why are these men trying to control me? What are they doing? What is going on? And then I had a light bulb moment today. So I told them very respectfully, I said, you can't control me. Not on any level. You can't kill me. You can't destroy me. You can't break my spirit. I am like a rock. If you go and look at my zodiac chart, I am one of the most powerful people that you will ever see. And those are the ones that they want to break down. Okay? Those are the ones that they after. They want to get a strong woman that they can break down, and it's because they have a sickness in their head. They can't experience love. What you are experiencing is Stockholm Syndrome, sis. You're not experiencing love of any kind. In fact, that man more than likely has not been able to experience any kind of love for anybody his entire life. And you know how many men there are out here in this world, and they go unnoticed? Men that are not going to treat you that way. And they come to us with these statistics to make us desperate. So they'll tell you there's 7 women to every man. Yeah. No, it's not true. It's not true.
Oh God. Oh no.
There's plenty of men in this world for you to find somebody else. So if you guys are even connected to a man like that, you have got to do your spiritual work. Now, for me, I just did some more work on myself. And you can tell that they went to work, but their work is not going to matter because nobody else's will ever overpower mine. And you've got to be strong in your mind, in your body, in your spirit, and you cannot allow them to do that to you. You have got to expect better, do better, and demand better. And if you ever have to tell a man how to treat you, that's not the man for you because he already knows how you expect to be treated. Now, again, there's a lot of women having low self-esteem, and they'll go for that. And I feel like and see, just because I'm an empath doesn't mean that I'm going to automatically want to be with a narcissist. So I have absolutely no connection with narcissistic people at all. And I want nothing to do with them. In fact, narcissistic men don't turn me on at all. It turns me the complete opposite. And I've been dealing with them for the past 3 or 4 years to the point where, my body just said, well, we ain't gonna be fertile right now because we ain't trying to deal with this. Because a woman's body controls if she gets pregnant or not. So when I did that fertility ritual, it was an opening of my sacral chakra so that the right man can come in. And that's something that they hate because they don't want you to have somebody that treats you well. In fact, they'll try to kill them. Y'all see all these men that end up dead and stuff? It's because those men have rejected toxic masculinity. Totally. They have rejected it. And these men, they'll come after any man that rejects it. So a lot of men will feel like, well, I have to conform with this or else otherwise no other man will accept me. Well, baby, you're going to have to figure out and you're going to have to make a choice whether or not you want to be accepted by a man or have a nice, soft, sweet woman waiting at home with you with dinner cooked. Which one do you want? And if they choose a man, well, they had that patriarchy in their heart. Patriarchy is a curse. That is one of the generational hexes that I remove, is the curse of patriarchy. It has ruined so many generations of people. It has ruined their lives. And we can tell that they're ruined. Just watch their behavior. Keep watching and feel for their behavior. I know a lot of y'all don't want to feel what they're feeling, but when you feel what they're feeling, you're feeling confusion and pain. Why would somebody want to be with somebody that's walking in confusion and pain? Okay? Oh, yeah, absolutely, Empress B. I remember when I was with an abusive narcissistic man and my body would reject him as well. I couldn't even, there would be no fluids or nothing flowing down there, honey. It completely rejected him. And I would just lay there. And a man that's okay with you just laying there, walk away from him. And I know a lot of women have been in sexual relationships with men like that, to the point where you're literally just a toilet bowl for them. And see, I don't last long like that. Like, I'll tell them straight up, you know, you're not the one for me. Okay? And your body will reject them because you don't want to get pregnant by them. You don't want to get pregnant by somebody that's like that, because that's going to have an effect on the child. Okay? And men like that will try to use your children to control you. And if I catch any woman out there siding along with them, ooh, the goddess is looking at you like, oh Lord have mercy. Women that advocate for that kind of abuse of women, they not happy either. And they mad at me. They hate me, y'all, because I'm the ambassador for it. Okay? I am the voice for healthy relationships. And you'll never have a healthy relationship with a man that for some reason he thinks in his little bitty tiny brain that I'm going to say that I want your daughter, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say that. Walk away from these types of men forever, and don't ever look back at them, because they can pretend that they've changed, but they ain't changed nothing about themselves. They only know how to reel you back in to get what they want out of you. That's all they know how to do. And don't tell your man that you are seeing a spiritualist. Don't do that. Especially not a narcissistic, impatient, insecure man, because he's going to automatically pick up on my energy. And my energy is something that they really can't handle, which is why they're very, very obsessed with me. But we're not worried about that. What we're going to worry about is our lives. And what we're going to worry about is bringing in that man that is there to protect us. And please believe that he's already there in spirit. You just got to manifest him for you so that, you know, and you can do that. It's nothing wrong with that. I don't do love spells on specific people. I don't do that because that's domination. But I do have the love road opener spells. I do have that on the website, but this is going to be more of a group thing. And I want women to participate in it, because it's going to be our feminine power that is going to destroy these men where they stand. They have no right to any woman. They have no right to your body unless you give them permission. They have no right to your mind and your spirit unless you give them permission. So no, honey, I'm not no volunteer. I reject all men like that. And I may even love you. What feelings got to do with it? Those are just feelings. I can feel something for a dog, but I'm not going to feed it. So feelings mean nothing. It doesn't. Okay? Yeah, but you know what? Have you been able to manifest a relationship since that Quia's diary? Because what those men do is they never let go. So I'm wondering if since then you've been able to manifest someone else into your life. What can we do to pass the message to help other women to see the error of their ways to correct the community? What we're going to have to do is we're just going to have zero tolerance for that. We're going to have a zero tolerance for any of these abusive men is what we're going to have to do. And we're all going to have to be on the same page. Nothing of what they doing is cute. A lot of people think, it's so funny. No, it ain't cute. Stop thinking that it's cute. This is not 50 Shades of Grey. I think that movie was very, very harmful for women. And feminists actually rejected that movie, which was good. The feminists are smart because they totally rejected that movie. And you know what? Years ago, when I was on my other channel, I felt the spell that they put on a lot of women. I felt that. And it was very demonic. And there's always going to be a woman, because if you notice in 50 Shades of Grey, his mother was a narcissist. And then he was also trained by a woman, because there's some women that like for a man to beat them. There's some women that like for a man to kick them down. And if you're not that type of woman, then you're not going to volunteer for anything like that. So you don't have to accept that in your life, because these people are absolutely headed for destruction, and they try to send all that destructive energy to you. So if you haven't been able to manifest another man into your life, right, absolutely. You have daughters and they are watching you. But this is what I want to tell you. All men are not like this. There's only a small percentage of the population. There's less men that are like this than more. The ones that are like this, they look at women that allow themselves to be treated like that, like they are complete idiots. So there's a lot of men that can have a perfectly healthy relationship with you without all of that. And they're out there, trust me. You just have to make yourself available to them. These narcissistic men, they've been using witchcraft. I hope y'all know that they've been using witchcraft on you. They go to their mamas, their aunties, their cousins that are witches, and they use that crap on you.
Where you go?
And you got to stop it. You got to put these men in their place. Okay? And you got to tell them, look, you don't know what's best for you, but I know what's best for me. And what's best for me is to never have anything to do with you. And it has nothing to do with another woman. A lot of them try to make it about another woman. That's just a game. It ain't got nothing to do with another woman. But if it's a disgusting woman that's very destructive, but I don't want no player at all. I'm a one-man woman, and I expect the same in return. So I'm not into the polyamory. I'm not into men like Nature Boy. I'm not into stuff like that. No, thank you. And I'll never be into that, because that's not a part of who I am. And I certainly wasn't raised that way. Okay? Yeah. Wow. But you know what? A lot of y'all women that are scared to move on, you're still under their clutches. A lot of you women, what you do is you take that energy from that relationship with him and you carry it with you, and those emotions you have to let go of. The guy recently that I dealt with, that Mike Mills character, we all knew that he was a butthole. So are we surprised by his behavior? What, was I supposed to change him? I will never use my energy to change a man. Not for free. If you come and pay me, I'll do work on him. But other than that, I'm not gonna allow that in my life. And he's been lying to people, and he just lost all his power today. So he's not happy about that. And a lot of these men are going to lose their power. Okay? Because they're not thinking straight. They're not thinking straight at all. Okay? All they know about is control. Whatever they think is going to control you, see whatever tactic that he used to try to control me, it worked on another woman. Well, that's not going to work on me. So this is the reason why it is over, and it is over forever. After you done said inappropriate things about my child, I bet not see you around my house. Wow. I bet not see you around my house. I don't play that. This is one of the reasons why I was single for years. And see, he's very unhealthy in his mind because he's got a lot of interfamilial relationships going on with his family members. Quia's diary said, in my mind, I thought I could help him or fix him. That will never happen. He is who he is. He needs to be reborn again and let his mammy raise her child correct. Yeah, you know, a lot of these men have a screwed up idea of what a man is. And you can always tell these men that have been sexually abused as children, and their fathers or their uncles or their cousins took them. Their first woman was a prostitute. That was their first woman. That was their first experience with a woman. So they have no idea what a true love relationship is about. Or they had a very negative relationship with their mother. You got to get cleanses and stuff. You have to get cleanses. You have to do the cord cuttings. And then some people even need to do the breakup. Now, some of them actually have witchcraft on you. Some of them actually have witchcraft on you. I told y'all that more men practice witchcraft than anything. In fact, when they were killing up a bunch of women, they were actually doing witchcraft then. So they've been doing it for years. They just told you, see, religion was created to control both the man and the woman. Okay? But men, they are total hypocrites because all of those men are using witchcraft. So that's how they do it. And you literally have to get that curse removed from you, because what they do is they put it in your womb, they put it in your mouth, and they try to put it in your heart. So well, a lot of them are oversexed as children, and the reason why they're oversexed is because they have been given their sexuality by another sick-minded man. So a lot of women, instead of them walking away from these controlling men, they stayed with them. I.e. Jerry, ain't his name Jerry Sandusky or something? You know, the Sandusky woman, the wife, her husband had been raping little boys in the basement for years, and she claimed she didn't know nothing about it. She claimed she didn't know anything about it. Now, how many of y'all actually believe that she didn't know what he was doing to them children? She knew. I truly believe that she knew. She just turned a blind eye to it because she didn't want to walk away from her money, from her stability in her life. Because when you walk away from a controlling man like that, he's going to try to make life hell for you. And your biggest, hold on, y'all. Your biggest defense is going to be magic. Witchcraft is going to be your biggest defense. Your biggest defense is going to be witchcraft. And if you see them putting any kind of energy off of your son, you can tell it's that frustration and I'm just a man and I'm confused. Then you have to do cleanses on your sons, because your son can be affected by these types of men, and they don't even have to touch them or do anything to them. Everybody's doing everything with their mind. And to be honest with you, I have a theory that these men actually hate women. So there's literally, if a man hates a woman, it ain't nothing you can do for him. He's going to have to change himself. And more than likely, he's probably already ruined the connection that you have with him, and you just have to let it go. Yeah. Yeah, this man called me yesterday. I'm gonna come over there. You want me to come over there and give you some? You want me to come over here? Am I your daddy? Am I this and that? No, you're not. No, you're not. Okay, so that's just the reality of it, and we really gotta quit coddling these men and don't show them any emotion, because as soon as you start showing them emotion, they don't understand that emotion. All they see is weakness. That's all they see is a weakness in you. They don't take it as you being a woman, because they weren't taught anything real about a woman. The only thing they were taught were toxic masculinity. So we've got a group of men, a race of men, a huge population, a huge chunk of the population that don't know themselves, and they don't know anything about women. And if you add those two together, is going to bring up destruction. Okay? I had a cancer too. Leah's diary. I had a cancer too. He was the most despicable, controlling piece of crap that I had ever met. He couldn't keep no job. And then he didn't want me to keep a job. And he just wanted me to be on welfare. He just, he was just like, well, they got benefits down at the state. Why don't you just get on some welfare? We'll be okay. Yeah. That's the kind of low life that you're dealing with. And if it's a man with money and he toxic, child, I would take half of what he got and walk away. I would not stay in a relationship with a man like that. And I suggest that y'all don't, because eventually you're going to regret it, because what they'll tell you is they'll say, well, you old now. They've been telling me that I'm old since I was 25. You too old now, Jamila. And it was funny to me. Back then, you old and you got these kids. Ain't nobody gonna want you. Or you got kids and ain't nobody gonna want you. Ain't nobody like you gonna want me, except for the pedos. Okay. Mm-hmm. Oh, I just wouldn't. I've learned the hard way to not give a man a dime. I wouldn't give him a dime. I wouldn't. I've been nice to men like that before, and they don't appreciate it. Trust me. They're not built or designed to appreciate that. Now, the type of man that I'm interested in is to where, we can gift each other all the time, and it's not, ooh, I got over on you. That's how they feel, especially with these black men, y'all. Y'all got to understand that black men were taught the worst values. They gave them crap to feed on. Okay? Only the privileged people have this information. A lot of the poor black people in this world, they don't have that information. This is why they're so confused. And so they run around. They're like, well, why won't she take me? Why don't she want me? I don't understand why no woman wants me. And by that time, their mind has been taken over, because I've seen a lot of them. They can't think nothing past that crap. That's all they have on their brain. And because it works for certain type of women, they okay with it. But when they find a woman like me that crap ain't gonna happen with, then that is when they flip out and they lose it. Because they want a woman that they can tame. They want a woman that they can break like a horse. They do. And it's disgusting. As disgusting as it is, they treat us, they can treat you worse than a freaking animal. They do treat us worse than animals. They treat their dogs better than they treat women. Why would you judge a woman by that man's ill behavior? But a lot of people do it. A lot of people will judge you. So then there's a lot of women, they just held up in suspension. I got to have this man. I don't need no man, baby. I was single when I'm single, and I make as much money as I want. Okay. I just leave. What I do, I just leave. Okay. Because I haven't been in any relationships with anybody in Georgia. So I have no reason to flee from Georgia, because I've never been in any type of committed relationship with any man in Georgia. But they work hard to try to keep her in that house, because when I leave, they're going to go out and they're going to try to rape somebody. So Spirit really wants me to get a lot of these people locked up, because when they lose, and they don't have no control anyway. But when they're not able to drive past my house and do all this weird stuff, then that's when they start to feel really, really out of control, and they start having seizures and stuff. Some of them will have a seizure. They so damn hell-bent on controlling you that their brains will start to seize, and they'll get Tourette syndrome, and they can't control their mouth. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, I don't play those games with men. I really honestly don't. And I did my own breakup on this one guy because it was difficult for me to break away from him because he kept doing spiritual work on me. And so the breakup spell definitely worked. I didn't mean for it to melt down the way that it did, but sometimes you got to do your own breakup with a man like that. As a woman, your life is not defined by a man. That's what they would like for us to believe. So that's why they have all these men running around here dressed like women trying to educate other women. You can't educate no other woman if you are not a woman. But the woman can educate a man or a woman. But these men were raised by toxic women, or either their mother was on drugs or their mother was mentally ill, and their mother wanted to make them just like the men in their life so that he could go out there and hurt and try to destroy another woman, because it's only fair. It happened to me. See, these women should have realized that they should have broken that cycle with their sons, but they didn't. So their sons is going to be alone the rest of their life, just like their mamas. When you purposely don't give people spiritual information, and when you withhold spiritual information, that's equivalent to a lie. So when you had the opportunity to teach your child something better, and that's what I've noticed. And there's a lot of these children and these men that were conceived out of rape, or either they was what we call a trick baby because mommy was doing drugs. Okay. And that's how she ended up pregnant. And that's not a healthy environment. A child that's not conceived in love, that child gonna have to have a lot of work done on them when it's not conceived in love. Okay. But his mom is a Leo like me. What was up with that? Did he think I was his mom? He probably wanted you to be just like his mom. He wanted you to be Debbie Doormat, is what he wanted. But Debbie Doormat is bad because she's so weak that she can't even see the demon on the man. So she'll sit there, feed him pork and bourbon, and say, well, I'm just waiting for you to die. But that's not the right thing to do either. So a lot of these women that allow that type of behavior, they again are doing the man a disservice by not teaching them better. And they've definitely ruined the lives of their sons by not teaching them to treat themselves or women better. So that's why they went on a full-fledged attack. These disgusting men went on a full-fledged attack to attack single mothers, especially single mothers with boys, because in reality, they like little boys. So that person that came out and said that he was attracted to my daughter, he's not attracted to my daughter. He's attracted to both of my sons. And that's what's sick about that. So these men have been twisted and tangled in their minds, and they have no idea how to think for themselves. So that's why they assume that the woman doesn't know how to think for herself. Okay. So that's the sick part about that fool. And he's still running around talking about me. I said, why are you still talking about me? You and the little boys. Why are you still talking about me?
Okay.
Because I have little boys. You see what I'm saying?
There he is.
So it's very, very, very important, because I got eyes in the back of my head. You heard me? So, you know, a man is never going to do anything inappropriate to my children, and it's never happened. But they will play games with you and see a lot of women, oh, I'm just destroyed by what you said. Girl, you better be stronger than that. And don't you allow no man to persuade you or to change your perception of yourself in your life. And these type of men, they are out there and they trying to take over. But the divine mommy will destroy the whole thing. She'll pick them off one by one, and they scared. Please believe that they scared, because they've been indoctrinated so heavily in that. Okay. Oh yeah. And you know what? When a man calls you a bitch, it's actually a compliment. When they're calling you a bitch, that means that they can't control you. So listen very, very carefully to their language and their lingo, because when they know they can't control you, that's when you a female goddess. Okay? So that's actually a compliment. That means that you have broke that man down and you have actually broken him. And it's not that he's changed, because he'll be after your children's butt, and you can't allow no man like that. And there's a lot of men that have healthy minds. And they don't understand. They have been convinced by these other men that there's not healthy women out there. So they stop looking, or either they turn to other men. So we have a lot of that these days. And the only thing that's going to help you as a woman is to stand your ground and sustain your divine feminine energy. And then also using using spiritual work and using witchcraft and magic. That's what's going to pull you out of that. So if you guys need to reach me, if you sitting around for 10 years and you ain't been with nobody, and your ex done told you, well, you can't have nobody, nobody's gonna want you. Well, they don't control that unless you give them that control. And what a man is doing like that is he is immediately working on putting you in a mental prison. That's where you're at. You're in a mental prison. And they used to lock women up. You know, men used to have power to get women put into insane asylums. They'll sit up there, they'll gaslight a woman, they'll say all kind of crazy stuff to drive her crazy. And back in the day, he didn't even have to have no proof that it was something wrong with you. He could just get you committed into a hospital. He could just get you committed into a hospital. That's the type of control that he had over you. But these days, that's not what's going on. He don't have that kind of control, and he never will have that control. And he never did actually have that kind of control. And it's all a fraud. It's all a delusion. Because why can't you just sit down and be still and be happy? Why are you so restless? What's wrong with you? That's what you got to really ask yourself. Why is this man just all over the place? What's going on with him? I can tell you one thing. The ones that are stalking you and harassing you and pursuing you for years, a lot of them are doing it because you got little boys. That's why a lot of them are doing it, because they sick. And these type of men, really, they should be locked up. Don't give them a chance to do nothing to your kids. Leave them right out. I don't care if you come to my door bleeding. I won't open it. So you'll just have to bleed to death on my front porch. Okay? I'll see you guys later. If you guys need to reach me, the link to my website is below. I don't have any openings for today. Okay? But I do have openings for Tuesday. Okay? So if you guys want to get on my schedule, I do have the same day reading option on the website. If you guys need to speak with me immediately, you do have that option. But other than that, I can't guarantee that you're going to get your reading the same day. Okay? I'll see y'all later. Love and light.